the only thing really that's dying, aside from the odd small market amazing game that deserves an audience and doesn't get one because it's not marketed properly and doesn't have a marketing budget, really the only thing that's dying off this console generation is shovelware. Because
Yay!
because gamers have gotten more selective because they don't have as much money to throw around.
Yes.
So it's really it's kind of that's at least is a beneficial byproduct of a bad economy. But I don't think they realize like they just want to blame the economy and blame the consumer, and it's guys, we're buying what we want to play, but we don't want to play much right now because you're releasing shit. That's basically the
Exactly.
long and short of it.
Realistically, can you name one good fucking game this generation that actually changed the whole ideals of gaming?
Yeah, there were a bunch in the very beginning. I would say BioShock found a way to take.
The better question is, do you expect to see any more?
Yeah, that's a better question.
That's the real question. Yeah, like at the beginning of the console generation, there was a lot of promise. A lot of games that were newer concepts, like Assassin's Creed, were still coming out, and now we're so we're fucking balls deep into this generation, and it's just the steam is completely run out of the engine.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like looking at a V8 with no gasoline in it. Just
And that's how we wind up being impressed by things like a glorified tech demo like Watch Dogs.
well, that's how we end up, movies or games being marketed as movies.
Oh, Christ.
Because you notice that most of these, AAA action titles now are simply action movies that no one could afford to make.
Well, Final Fantasy VII started all that shit, but I don't want to get into that right now.
No. We don't have that kind of time here on the 8-Bit Podcast.
And leave Final Fantasy VII alone. It's actually a good game in its own right.
But did it start that shit or did it not?
It did start a big budget game. Yeah.
It was, in my opinion, Final Fantasy VII was not a triumph of game design. It was a triumph of marketing.
Was it the beginning of the end?
It was the beginning of the end in a lot of ways. But
yeah.
Anyways.
Well, now that we're all sad, please, folks, remember, if you see Peter Moore, run! Run the other way, or he's going to say some stupid shit, and you will just have IQ points fall out of your head. Anyway.
No, how about you do this? If you see Peter Moore, take a shotgun and blow his head off. I don't care if it's murder. It's actually a public service.
Also, don't wear orange near him, or else he'll think you're Cheeto dust and try to consume you.
He will snort you through that huge nose of
unless you live in Great Britain, then you have to. What is it? You have to leave your house and inform the police and hide under a table. Is that what?
Yeah, it's called health and safety.
No, what you do is you crawl underneath the nearest car because he'll never get at you under there.
No, didn't
anyway,
didn't they tell you there's an epidemic of obesity over here?
You don't have it. Well, yeah. Well then. You're a rail. You're in the clear. All the other obese people will be eaten by Peter Moore.
It's all that Marmite.
Yeah.
There's going to be a shipment of radioactive Marmite when Peter Moore's in Great Britain, and he's going to eat the Prime Minister.
Yay! Please do.
And then you will be ruled by EA. How would you like it then?
I will emigrate.
Anyway, there's something that needs to be addressed. Someone left a comment. Should I say who?
If you want.
YouTube user I'm the Druggernaut had the nerve to post a comment on the most recent podcast, number 12, Japan is on the Moon, where he said that the 8-Bit podcasts are the Star Fox of gaming or something like that. Hold on, let me get it here in front of me. If the 8-Bit podcast was Star Fox, he says Alpha Omegason would be Fox, Razor Fist would be Falco, apparently because he's an asshole, Sainted Magnus would be Peppy because he looks and sounds older than the others. That's only because he's English.
Mm-hmm.
Sainted Magnus is actually Bill Gray, the dog that should have an English accent. And Yell Chaos would have to be Slippy. He says, don't get me wrong, I like Yell Chaos. Well, fuck you. But he says, but he is the most annoying in the group. I
like this guy already.
Yeah.
You like this guy already? Yeah, well, you're not going to like him very long because I'm going to break his fucking head off his shoulders and wipe his ass with his own scalp. Fuck you and anybody who looks like you. Anyway, at least you could have done was give me General Pepper, you dickhead.
I have no idea who any of these characters are because I've no.
Exactly. Well, most people don't know who Star Fox is, so I guess I shouldn't be that upset. But I don't look like that frog, you dick face. God, you stuck up douche nozzle. God damn it.
Shut up.
Boy.
If it makes you feel any better, I'm gonna get stuck on a planet doing fetch quest for a couple hours.
There you
So
go.
You know, for a long time I thought Slippy was a chick, but now I've realized when I was watching Jurassic Park, some frogs do switch gender. So
Yeah,
it's kind
they
of
do.
the disparity between his voice from Star Fox 1 and Star Fox 64 is beginning to come into focus for me. What I don't understand is why they would.
Oh,
What, what,
he's
what, I,
saying,
what I don't understand when they moved into the GameCube generation is why they made his voice even higher pitched. Like, you know what this game really needs is a character with an air raid siren for a vocal cord. Yeah.
Well, maybe
you
it's
know, if he got into his ship and sat on his balls like Christopher Hewitt did.
or maybe it's because people got that sick of him fucking saying do a barrel roll. They kicked him in the nuts.
No, that's Peppy. Peppy
Peppy.
said do it.
I was gonna say,
Ah.
this could be a situation where Slippy has a mistress with some of the most intense stilettos ever, and it's just like step on my little fucking frog balls, and there you go. Every time he talks, it just so happens to be awkward timing for everybody who's listening.
There you go. And by the way, if you're listening and you got some free time after the podcast, be sure and Google in that little bar on your right hand side, rather, type in Christopher Hewitt and testicles.
What?
I
Don't
have
do
no
that.
idea.
That's terrible advice.
No, that's
Don't
fabulous.
ever do that. As a matter of fact, never
But that's
type in
beyond no.
testicles.
Well, Christopher
Yep.
Hewitt was the British actor who played Mr. Belvedere, and at one point or another during a rehearsal, he sat on his own balls, which is hilarious. So read all about it somewhere on Google. Anyway, yeah, I am not Slippy. Fuck you and anybody who looks like you, smells like you, sounds like you, and future generations that bear your surname.